Hi, my name is Vijay, and today we are going to learn about transactions. What are they? How many types? What are the syntaxes? And much more. So let's start with what is a transactions and why do we need them? So in SQL Server, whenever we perform insert, update, and delete, we are actually performing in transactions. So in SQL Server, it's by default set to auto commit. It means you do anything, you do insert, update, or delete, it's by default, once your transaction is successful, it's done. So there is a two states of data. One, which you wanted to update, which you are incoming changes, maybe you wanted to insert, delete, or update, right? One is the actual physical table. So how we wanted to write a command, send values, and update these physical table, which is exist in a hard disk, in a database file, a encrypted file, right? So our goal is to change the values, maybe remove or edit or something, right? So transaction is nothing but we want to control these insert, update, and delete. If you want to control that, if something goes wrong, we don't want all the commands to perform, or we don't want whatever changes has been done, we wanted to take that out. Because if 10% is failed, suppose you have three statements, one is insert, another is update, third is delete. Now you wanted to have these three transactions into the one go, means in the set of code you wanted to perform three actions, and if your two actions are not satisfied or not successful, then definitely third might get succeed, depends on the criteria, right? But if you want to control any of your transaction is not succeed, you wanted to roll back. Rollback means bringing back to the previous state where this table was before starting this set of commands for insert, update, and delete. So let's understand quickly with theory part. So as the definition says, it's just matter of set of command putting into the brackets or some specific brackets. So we want to control all the DML, DDL, these kind of things. Okay. So now so as I said, there are three types. Auto commit, which is a by default functionality of SQL Server. Second is explicit. Third is implicit. Explicit means we wanted to define, we wanted to take the control. We wanted to say, okay, now we want to do insert, update, and delete. Please do this. If any one of the transaction is not successful, we don't want any change to our table. That is nothing but explicit. Okay. Implicit, it means it's just an auto commit, how it's already set. Okay. So let's see these three things. Now, what are the syntax are being used to perform these actions? To start with, if you see here, when we do explicit, we have to start with begin transaction. It means we are saying, okay, now we wanted to perform some actions. Let's start with the begin, and then we want to do insert, update, or delete, or maybe anything. Then once we are done with those statements, we wanted to say, okay, now we are done, we are good. Let's save this data permanently to the table. So control is in our hand. We are saying, okay, now we are good. Commit means, okay, now make this change permanently. Suppose we are not happy with our set of commands, maybe some error or something. Then we can say, no, we don't want any change to our physical table. Please roll back, means please revert all the things what has been done. So we don't want anything. So it's nothing but a rollback. Okay, so I hope commit and rollback are clear. Okay, so there's another thing called save point. So save point is nothing but, suppose you have three different statements and you wanted to save your transaction state on each and every point, and maybe you wanted to update employees first name, last name, and maybe salary, or maybe location. So maybe these three things go successful, at fourth one failed. Okay, but still you wanted to save the level 3, first name, last name, and salary. Then still you save that transaction as a part of save point. So you can do that by manually doing intervention between the transactions. So how you can do it? Suppose you want your half of the transaction, your some part of the transaction still go in a commit state, then still you can save your transaction, so that it's easy what to commit, till which point to commit, and till which point to roll back. Okay. Perfect. So let's see, as I said, these are the syntax we have to remember when we talk about transactions. Okay. So commit is nothing but saving the data permanently. Rollback means reverting back the data. Okay. Save point is to the some certain state we want to control. Okay, till here we are okay. Let commit these changes and don't worry about the rest of the changes, even though it failed. Okay. Okay, perfect. So let's quickly create this table and see that. Okay, how a transaction works. So I'm just going to copy this and I'll go to here. Yeah. So because I have other tables, so I will start with just any tables which does not exist in DemoDB. And so it's simply ID, name, gender, city, and department ID, right? The same thing. I'm going to keep it here. Okay. So I'm just inserting few rows here. 101 to 104, four employees data with first name, last name, and their gender, their location, city, and their department. Okay, perfect. Now our table is ready. Let's see this table. Okay. So here we can see simple 4 rows. Okay. Now let's play a transaction a little bit. So as per our blog, you can refer this blog and please do subscribe us if you like these kind of videos and you wanted to know more about SQL Cores and Power BI. Okay. So let's see. So the transaction, how transaction start is begin transactions, SQL statements, and commit. It means you have to start with begin transaction and then say SQL, whatever, insert, update, delete, or anything. But it has to be a DML, means where you are manipulating. Okay, where you are manipulating the data. How you can manipulate? By insert, update, and delete. Okay. So I'm going to perform this one of the row and saying commit. Okay. So let's see this. Okay. So if you see here, I'm just putting something so that okay. Yeah, I have to give table names also so that perfect. I'm just going to increase the font size so that you can zoom in so you can see more clearly. Okay. So I hope you can see it now. Here, what we are trying to do, here we are saying insert into this another first row, 105 row. Right now we have 4 employees. 5th employee we are going to insert with David. Okay. Then we are going to update where department ID 3, we are going to update the ID equal to 101. Okay. And we want to delete where ID equal to 104. It means the 4th employee, we wanted to delete it. 2nd employee, we want to do update something. So there is an insert, update, and delete. There are 3 different transactions, 3 different statements, sorry. 1 transaction, 3 different statements. What is this variable? Select trans count. So let's see what it gives and then we'll talk about it. So I'm going to perform. After that, once this is successful, we are going to say here commit. It means if this is good, this is good, this is good, no error, then it's definitely going to come here and say commit. So let's run this. So how do you end a transaction? You say begin transaction and you say commit. It means it's nothing but you are ending the transaction with the accepting the changes to the permanent table. So I'm going to run it. Perfect. You see, now you see 1 row affected, 1 row affected, 1 row affected, and 1 row. So this is about 1 row. This is about 1 row. This is about 1 row. Okay, perfect. So now how many transactions happened? 1 transaction. What was that? This transaction, begin transaction. In 1 transaction, how many statements? 3. In messages box, you can see 4. But this last one is nothing but when we are printing, select trans count. Okay, so there are 4. Okay, perfect. So now we have seen perfect. Now let's see the table again. Okay, so where employee ID is 102, you see, we have put that here. It has to be 3. So updated with the 3. Perfect. There is a 1 row got inserted. Perfect. Okay. There is a 4th row got deleted, which is a 104, right? So all the actions went smooth. Okay, no problem with that. Okay. Okay, so now let's see. Now, okay, let's see here. All the DML statement had performed, right? So the same thing I already showed you. Now let's see the rollback transactions. Here we are again trying to do this 4th employee. Okay, and then this time we do update, this time we do delete, and then we'll do we want data have been changed, right? So with the rollback, so we are going to perform with the rollback. Okay. So now we want to do something. Okay. Right now you might be thinking why we are doing a rollback. In the future, you will be controlling your statements, like you will be knowing it's failing or it's passing, it's successful, it's giving any error, in which case you have to roll back. So that comes in your handling business scenario or business condition or procedure handling, right? But right now it just we are learning a command how to execute. So definitely you can check it with if else, you can check it with the try and catch block and perform rollback, right? If something fails. Okay. You can get the row number, row count, updated count, you can get anything. And then based on that, you can take the decision whether you have to do commit or rollback. Okay. So let's see here. In this time, I'm trying to insert a fourth row. I'm trying to update department ID 2 where there is a 102. So you remember right now we have 3 and there is no ID of 10, right? So we are just going to delete. Let's see this. Let's see, will it impact or not? This time it says, oh, okay. One row affected, 0. It means here it worked, here it worked, here it worked, and then completed. Okay. So now let's see. Okay. If this transaction is successful, we should see 104 is the employee ID. Now let's see our table. You see, do you see here 104? No. Do you see here 10 employee ID, department ID equal to 2? No, no update happened. No insertion happened, no update happened. That's the power of rollback, because to end the transaction, what we use rollback this time. It means we don't want any of the changes. Please revert back. Even though it performed insert, it performed update, but at the end we said to SQL Server rollback. So it has reverted all the changes. Okay, perfect. So I hope this is good, and I will show you another example of save point. So save point, you can see save point is simply like you wanted to commit a specific transaction. Then you can say begin transaction, save transaction S1. We are giving the name. Why we are giving the name? In the future, or maybe in the later down the line, we wanted to commit that transaction. Okay. So we are giving each and every insertion. Now we are dividing 3 transactions into the 3 statements, 3 DML statements to the 3 save points, right? 1, 2, and 3. And then based on our condition, we can commit any transactions. So I hope this helped you to understand transactions, commit, rollback, save points, and why we use it, how we can use it. I hope you liked it. Please subscribe with us, and thank you for watching.